Well, it looks like we got some other interesting things coming up. And actually, I'm going to change. I might change these videos up to some of the stuff I was doing with like the voice overlay. Get even a little more wild with this stuff because I actually like enjoying doing those because they're more fun. And I don't know. Some people don't like them because I make fun of things too much, I guess. But I got some other wild ideas. I don't necessarily want to get in front and do it like this all the time. But I might have something out like that tomorrow. But the one thing that's coming up, and it's going to be different from the stuff on YouTube even pretty wild for YouTube. It won't be past their parameters, but I don't know, man. There's too serious with a lot of this garbage. And, you know, the end is always near, right? I think that back in 1000 AD they used to say that. The end is near. And I remember Howard Camping, the $75 or $74 million net worth, whatever he was, minister or pastor, talking about predicting the end of the world twice in 2013. Well, he didn't give up any of his money. So just keep that in mind. Just keep that in mind. You know, I'm going to actually preface this with a couple other things, too. Because during the Civil War in the United States, it was worse than anything that ever happened right now. I mean, maybe we can be going into the worst times ever, but if we get through the worst times ever, you know what that makes? What happens? It makes us stronger. Just like with Rome, they had a war one time. I'll just get back. I just want to digress on this because a lot of times people into the silver stuff, man, they are just like, I don't know. I don't like these guys pushing all the goody rumors. They make my stomach turn, man. But if you even want to go back to the Roman times when they were fighting Hasdrubal and Hannibal and stuff for, you know, decades, you know, the next generation of people were fighting them. And actually, the Romans lost their biggest army they ever fielded inside of 3 hours due to Hannibal's double envelopment tactic at the Field of Cana. So, you know, I mean, they didn't give up. So, I mean, you know, this attitude of... now that they're pushing sometimes some of these people for gloom for profit, they're making you give up before even the battle starts or whatever, you know. But you know, say we go into the worst times ever in the United States. Say that happens. If we get through them, it makes the United States stronger than ever, right? And more power to us too, more freedom for us too, if we do it the right way. Just want to put it out that way because. Man, I'm like sick of these yo-yos. I got some really wild shit I want to put out. Wild stuff I want to put out here, and probably do things a little bit different from this. You know, just getting in front of the camera. But anyway, with QE, yeah, we heard about Janet Yellen's backing off QE, but globally, QE is going full steam. Now, you know, last year, like Japan actually embarked on more QE than they ever did in their life. I mean, it's like. You know, even Soros and everybody and Warren Buffett's warning that stuff's going to go really bad with this stuff. Not just your typical other people like Jim Rogers, you know, warning about Japan's excessive QE or Mark Faber. But they're all warning it's going to end up in disaster. But now we had Europe's embarking on more QE. And also China's embarking on more QE. But the U.S. is backing off on QE. I don't know, maybe that means the dollar's going to stay strong longer. But, you know, I've been saying all along, I don't know when the Middle East is going to blow up, per se. But really, that is the key to the silver and gold prices going up, because they'll go up with the oil prices. And that's not good news, but, you know, necessity is the mother of all invention. If oil prices go up, we're going to find ways around things. Now, I just want to say this, though, with what's going on in the Middle East. It's actually, whether it's deliberate or it's not, it's planned or whatever the heck it is, but basically the net effect of our policy in the Middle East has actually now changed to be in support of Iran. You believe that or not? And it's kind of coming from the Obama administration. Now, I don't want to get too or for Obama or whatever, I'm not saying that, but it's going more for Iran because of ISIS, and actually supporting Assad too. Actually, instead of going against Assad, they want to support Assad because Assad's fighting ISIS. But you know, I can tell you what's going on. It's, you know, it's maybe I'll be dropping a real dime here. But, you know, it's probably the covert operations in the U.S. that got ISIS going. And it's just like we supported Iran, Saddam against Iran, and we support this one. Actually, what it is a depopulation program for the Muslim world, man. That's what's going on. That's what I really think is going on. Because the net effect is you always have one group fighting another group, and that means the civilians get clobbered, and the U.S. is out of it. They're all just killing each other, and it's, you know, I think that's really the policy. It's not really Obama's policy. That's his. He's the puppet guy. Now, I put something out recently about Joan Rivers talking about, you know, I don't want to bring this up again because it could be like almost hateful. Somebody could interpret it that way, but I'm not. I'm bringing it up in another way. Joan Rivers brought out that, you know, she said in an impromptu interview when she's walking up the stairs going into some building, she says that Michelle Obama was a transvestite or a transsexual, I guess. And everybody knows it. Get over it, Obama's. We already have a gay president. And it wasn't like she was against the fact that we have a, you know, well, I don't know if it is a fact, but she was against it. You know, coming from her, she wasn't like the conservative political aisle. But I want to put this to you first, because say for instance you don't believe that, I don't want to, because I can't prove it. I mean, I don't have a DNA tester or something, and you know, I'm not going to even freaking get mad at that if that's the case. I'm not even going to get pissed off at that or nothing, one way or the other. But I'm going to state is that I think it wouldn't be too outlandish if that was a play on the psyche of the American people and the people that supported Obama. A play that would destroy the psyche of those people, like sort of like with JFK, when JFK was assassinated, for instance. I'm not talking about Obama being assassinated, I'm not saying that, but you know, when JFK was assassinated, it was more on the minds of the American people that it just destroyed in their head, like everything, like, oh my God, this is the worst day. And you know, I think with most Obama supporters, if it was proven that Michelle Obama used to be a man, and it's like I said, I don't know this for a fact, I'll bring out a couple things real quick here. It's going to be on a psyche of them that they're going to be like, oh, this is so terrible, the country, you know, because I think most of them aren't going to be, you know, happy with that. Now, to me, I don't really care, to tell you the truth. What I get more pissed off at is she's going over to China and kissing up to the elite over China, which absolutely don't care about anybody's rights at all. I mean, all the liberals talk about everybody has these rights and those rights and everything like that. Hey, the Bill of Rights covers it all. That's the law of the land. Everybody's got rights. It don't matter. Doesn't matter, period. You know, you don't need to have groups set upon each other. I don't know why she's going over to China. That pisses me off more than anything, because she's playing up to the elite over there. But I actually want to point out something here with that Michelle Obama transgender issue thing, if it's true. They showed all the proportions, you know, with the fingers, like say, for instance, your finger is shorter here if you're a male because you had more testosterone in the womb and stuff, and her finger's like that, and the body proportion with the shoulders and all that. Then she did the 25 push-ups on Ellen DeGeneres and she wasn't tired. But another thing you could pick out in the major media, Obama's nanny was a transgender when he was growing up in Indonesia. So, you know, all that could pretty much fit. But say it's proven. What I want people to realize is that the elite are playing on the minds and psyches of all the people that even supported Obama. And like, I know, like with his supporters, the ones that are still his supporters today, they're some of the most fervent supporters going. But he might lose a lot more support if it was proven that Michelle Obama was a transsexual. You know, I'm not going to even address that issue like it's an issue. That's what I'm going to look at it. I'm going to look at it like, is she adhering, or, you know, she is not elected to anything. She's the wife for somebody. But is Obama adhering to the Bill of Rights and the Constitution of the United States? For instance, he's overstepped his bounds way big time, and the Supreme Court has actually knocked him down quite a bit by all these appointees he was making without the Senate actually being involved. And he's been running the country by executive order. Actually, you're looking to actually go after him because, he's making the laws by executive order. See, that's where I have a bigger problem with him than anything over that kind of garbage. He's not actually adhering to our real system of government. We don't need change. We need to actually just stick with the basics of what we always had. And when the United States, I know this is a silver update, but man, it's the whole thing in a nutshell. Basically, when the United States was formed, this was the only time that people actually broke away from the garbage that was going on for thousands of years. No matter what culture it was, no matter what part of the world it was, there was always this group of people that were running roughshod over everybody else. It was kings, it was pharaohs, it was emperors, it was whatever. There was never like a true limited government constitutional republic where the people really had the power until the United States was formed. And we don't need change on that kind of garbage. So, everybody's voting for like the decline of the dollar. Oh, the dollar's going to oblivion, the elite are on the run. I don't think they are on the run. They're not that stupid. They're not that stupid. It's the people that are thinking that the elite are on the run are the stupid ones. They're not that stupid. They're far shrewder. They're not bumbling idiots like a lot of people think. But, be that as it may, keeping the silver right now at these prices, it's not a sell, it's later on. But, at one point in time, it's going to go too high. And, unfortunately, there's going to be winners and losers. There's going to be less winners than there are. There's going to be a lot of losers, and there's going to be only a few winners. If you're afraid to sell at any price, you're going to be a loser. I'll state that. But looking at, all countries, pretty much the rest of the world, all the major players in the rest of the world are embarking on more quantitative easing. That is telling me that, despite, Janet Yellen pulling back on the levers of quantitative easing, and she's still doing quantitative easing now, but the fact that everybody else in the world is embarking on more quantitative easing, Japan, Europe, and China, that's good for the metals. That's good for the metals. And the fact that there's more going on now in Iraq than there has been in years, and the situation is constantly changing, the more turmoil that's going on over there, the higher the oil prices can go. And I kind of figured they were going to drop a little bit because the prices are rigged. Every time there's a big emotional news story that they're going to be marching on Baghdad or something, it's like the price drops. I kind of figured that. But I'm thinking, things are going to start heating up pretty fast here because of, it's pretty damn obvious, isn't it? We did 180 on Assad right now. And you got ISIS, and you got, in one group, you got Assad in another group, and there's more turmoil going on in the East. And as these things, in the Middle East, and as these things pick up, watch oil really start taking off all of a sudden. All of a sudden, the rigged market is going to be allowed to go like that, and that's when your gold is going to go like that too, and its silver is going to take off like crazy. But like I've been saying a gazillion times over, it can crash even faster. I don't think the real blow-off top for silver is not going to be here for several years, not 10 years, but I think there might be a mini top, a higher top than we've ever had in all time, coming up soon, and then it's going to come back down, not to these levels, but maybe the high 30s or whatever like that, and then the final charge will be way over 100. So, but just remember, they're playing psychological mind games with the average American people more than anything. That's really what the elite are doing. I'm very good at those games too. But I'm going to put out some more different types of videos in this because I'm just like, I just want to have fun on this thing and not get too serious and not push the doom and gloom too much. because we've had more trying times in the United States, and if we maybe say we get into the worst times we ever got into, even more so than the Civil War or the Revolutionary War of 1776, even more trying than that. Well, if we get through those times, we'll come out stronger. Just remember what happened with Rome. When Rome actually finally defeated Hannibal with Scipio Africanus in Spain, it turned out, decades later, it turned out that Rome actually rose stronger than ever. And that might be how it works out with us, too. So you don't want to be defeated before you even get started. God, man, I don't like these doom and gloomers, man. When the pressure is on and the situation is hopeless, it seems, and maybe you will lose some hope. Maybe you will. But I'm not going to lose hope before I even get started. God, I ain't in the business of doom and gloom for profit. So anyway, hold on to your investment. I think it's going to do well. It is going to do well, but it's not going to go up in a straight line. Over and out.